Can Stuart tell us about getting hit for 6 sixes in an over by Yuvraj?
Cheers, Rob. Great question.
Broady, what are your top 3 Saturday songs?
Can I give you one?
How many England WhatsApp groups are there?
Oh yeah, Stokesy sort of finished the group with a... can't read the rest of that.
Sachin Tendulkar or Jack Kallis?
This episode is brought to you by Laithwaites. Come on then, Jose. Pour yourself a glass.
Thank you.
Settle in and join us for the love of cricket. Sounds good.
Beautiful.
This is going to be the first episode of our Q&As. I'm Stuart Broad and he's Jos Buttler, and I'm trying to do that while pouring a glass left-handed.
And we've had thousands of questions, loads of them coming through Instagram channels, so please keep them coming.
So every month, in partnership with Laithwaites, we're going to be answering the best ones. So we've got a glass of Sauvignon Blanc.
I look professional. I'm going
to get us through. What do you think? Give me your expert. Oh, he's having a swig. Give us your expert opinion.
Is that how I'm going to spit it back out? My expert opinion, very nice. I feel like schooner scorer here. Very smooth, easy drinkable.
I'm getting lime.
Lime, zesty.
A bit of fish with that.
Bit of fish. Nice. Happy for it. Bring it next podcast.
Right, shall I flick through some of these best questions we've got? What should we start with? I'm going to go with... So Joe has sent one through. My mate Josh ran me out at the weekend. He called for a second that definitely wasn't on. How long am I supposed to be grumpy for? I think my question to add on to this, have you ever been run out?
Yeah, I've been run out loads of times. I think most gutted about is when Ben Stokes ran me out at Headingley as part of his amazing rescue act. You know, if he didn't run me out there, it could have been me. So, yeah.
You could have been the one not out. You could have been the Jack Leach.
Well, hopefully I would have scored more than one. But yeah, I was thinking 150. Yeah, Ben Stokes get that. But yeah, that run out there that no one will ever remember. But how long should he be grumpy for? A while, I think.
I want to hear more about this run out. What was it? I can't remember it. Yes, no.
Nathan Lyon was bowling, and Stokes. Okay, he's like turned it into leg side. And Travis Headers, so a yes, no. So he's called me through. I've set off. Travis Headers picked up. I'm sure he's at mid wicket, and sort of one of those. I've turned and I've known that there's no way I'm going to be back into. I need him to miss the stumps, but yeah, underarm flick, direct hit, and I remember, obviously Stokesy played the most amazing innings that I've ever seen, and all the emotions of watching that. And the first thing he said to me is, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry for running you out."
Did he straight away?
Yeah, and he's just played the best innings ever, won the match by himself, and typical that he would remember. Oh yeah, that's great, but sorry for running you out.
And the grumpiness, how long were you grumpy for that day?
Not long that day. I don't think I was going to affect the game too much, really. But I feel like Joe should be quite grumpy, yeah? It's if you've waited all week to go out there on a Saturday and your mates ran you out and there's never a 2.
Paid your subs.
Paid your subs. I'm sure there must have been a pint of something or a glass of wine at the end of the day as an apology, and that would probably suffice the grumpiness for me.
Yeah, I don't remember getting run out too many. I didn't last long enough to give the field a chance to run me out, but Chris Wokes did me at Chittagong. Flat pitch, spinners bowling both ends, which was my dream. No one could hit me on the head, and he dabbed it to backward point. Not his call, because in cricket normally that's a non-striker. Dabbed it to backward point. Yeah, no. And as he called no, he then kept coming. So we both had that stutter.
Yeah, do we, don't we?
And I carried on going. So my thought was, I'm better off getting run out instead of Chris Wokes because he can actually score some runs. And I got halfway run out. And I just remember walking off going, that's really sad. It's just a sad moment. It's not going to affect the game. It's not going to affect the Test series. This is so flat. Spinners are bowling, hot, nice batting conditions. If you're ever going to enjoy batting, it's now run out for like 10. Bit devastating. But I wasn't grumpy.
It's really hurt you, that.
Oh, it's the only one I can properly remember. But
favourite run out you ever seen?
I thought you were going to say that I ever get. I can't even remember getting a run out myself.
No, I thought
probably. Well, you mentioned that because it's yours.
No, it's
got to be 2019 World Cup final, isn't it?
That's a good one, but I was going to say Gary Pratt.
Gary Pratt watching. No, it's got to be you gathering that bobbling ball, Lord's World Cup final 2019, taking it, flipping it to the other hand, diving full stretch, taking the stumps. But
you've sold that well.
That'll be it.
Question from Mahir, which will be a great one for you. What makes a good batting partner and what makes a bad one?
Good question. What makes a good batting partner? So the only time I actually scored proper runs I got 160 odd at Lords, was with Jonathan Trott. And he was quite unique. I didn't see this that often from other batters, that he only ever worked in fives. So he was never discussing conditions or scoreboard necessarily. He just wanted to work in 5 runs. So we tap gloves, he'd go, right, 3 more to get that 5. He'd get that 5, he'd come down. Okay, we need to reset the 5, let's go. And he hit a 4. Okay, 1 run, get this 1 run. You get the 1. So it was so meticulous in how his mindset operated. I found it quite stressful batting with it, getting that 5. But the only time I properly batted with him, I got 160, so it sort of works, if that makes sense. So, yeah, he was the one I had the biggest partnership with. So I say he's the best. Worst in a good way was Graham Swan, in the fact we just egged each other on the whole time. So if I hit a 4, he'd come down and go, I can beat that, I'll better that.
Oh, really?
You know, so like I'd hit one through the covers on the floor. He'd come down smiling, say, I'm going over the top next ball. You know, so it was sounds like we were playing club cricket, test match cricket for England, but we had some great partnerships, but he definitely got me out a lot, where I'd be thinking, okay, he's just hit a 6, I've got to hit a 6, and I get out.
Helpful. Worst batting partner, I think I remember 2013, Mitchell Johnson was bowling really quick in that one-day series. It just preceded when he bowled rapid in Australia in that Ashes, and I've gone out to bat, and he's bowling, I think, round the wicket at Ravi Bopara, and Ravi's tried to pull this short ball, and he's got to, he's barely picked his bat up, and it smacked his stickers and dropped to the floor. And in like only the way Ravi can, just walked down and gone, geez, that's quick, dog. And I just remember thinking, like, I'm scared enough as it is. And Rav's just like, nothing worse than a batting partner telling you like how fast someone's bowling. And especially when actually it wasn't at the Rose Bowl, so you are behind, but when you're watching side on and people are bowling rapid, and then you get out there and you just want your mate to go, it's not as quick as it looks, and they're like, no, this is proper quick. So that's something I don't really enjoy. But the best partner, I really loved batting with Owen Morgan in one-day cricket. Thought we like complemented each other well, left hand, right hand. Very simple. You're not like giving each other too many sort of words, but when you've played with someone a lot, and small sort of sentences or just words like mean a lot more, like just, so we always just say like, let's just get a partnership going, and it's doesn't really mean much, but to the two of us, we knew exactly what that entailed and sort of the follow-up questions from what that would be. So he was a great partner to have, very level. But the other thing I don't like about batting partners is when they just don't give you much at all. It's sort of like that, they don't really talk to you or tell you what's going on. It's a bit dismissive, or you sort of, you go down, make a great shot, and they're just like, and just,
which I imagine could happen more in franchise cricket when you don't play with the same guys all the time. With England, you're playing with Owen Morgan all the time. Franchises, if you play for 5-6 franchises in a year, there's going to be guys you don't know at all. Yeah,
of course, and that is sort of natural that you don't really expect too much, or maybe the conversation won't be absolutely flowing. But even then, there's still guys you like really enjoy batting with, and guys that Sai Sudarshan was someone I really loved batting with in this IPL, just gone very positive, very nice manner about him. We didn't speak loads, but sort of also a good player that he's going to score runs, and you just sort of have that great trust in the guy at the other end that even if you're struggling, he's gonna be all right as well. But the other thing you get used to in the IPL is it's not just to touch gloves, it's you got to tap bat then touch gloves, so that's quite a franchise thing. But then you come back to playing for England and you sort of we're quite good at awkward handshakes, but I get left with my bat sort of waiting for a tap. But yeah, that's batting partners.
Jos and I have this thing where we send each other videos all the time of awkward handshakes, don't we? If there's ever an awkward handshake, we know about it within 30 seconds, don't we?
Absolutely. It's like the most cringe thing that we've
It sort of came from when you're shaking hands.
I feel like I can get back at you here with the Frank Lampard story. Tell me about shaking hands with Jamie Redknapp at Wimbledon.
Oh, no, don't. Yeah, you can get back at me here. So I was at Wimbledon with my mum, and Jamie Redknapp was walking around the concourse, I suppose, and bumped into him. I knew him a little bit from different things. So we bump into each other, we're chatting away about the tennis and about what's been going on. And it's like, all right, we've got to shoot. And I put my hand out to shake his, and he'd had a broken wrist, so he's got a plaster cast on it. So he can't really move his hand. So he puts it out as if to say, like, I've got a broken wrist. And I didn't really know what to do. So I just grabbed the end of it and just like shook the plastic cast. And as I was doing it, I'm going, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? And he walked away and I was like, oh, cheers, like, sorry about that. And I mean, I think I called you like the next day saying, how much we love these awkward handshakes. I've just done one, an absolute shocker. But I think our love of awkward handshakes came from where you shake hands with every player at the end of every game. There's so many times where some players go like hand up, some go normal, some you just grab the fingers of, and it's just horrendous.
Yeah.
So yeah,
if you fancy a treat on YouTube, try and catch Owen Morgan shaking hands. Was it Scotland captain 2015 World Cup? That was like the sort of
on off.
Yeah, the on. You know, am I doing the toss or am I shaking hands? I'm here, there. But yeah, treat yourself. It's good.
We've got a question from Claire. Good question, actually. What's the best catch you've seen taken live in training? Is it possible the best catch in history was actually never caught on camera?
I reckon there's a good chance. And actually recently in Pakistan in the Champions Trophy training, Adil Rashid took one of the most spectacular catches I've ever seen. And you know the sort of drill where I think Paul Collingwood's hitting them, he's tossing it up to himself as if he's at and Rash would be at backward point. So sort of some straight at you, some fly past you, and it's just go for everything. And Dilly from nowhere has just leapt like prime Jonty Rhodes, full stretch to his right and taken an absolute hanger. And maybe it feels better because, you know, it wasn't a Ben Stokes or someone who sort of is always taking those type of catches in training. I remember Baz saying to me, like, that's unbelievable. Where's the content team? Have they caught that? And they weren't anywhere. And he's like, that's so disappointing. The best catch, you know, we've ever seen. No one's ever going to see it. So I'm sure there are others like that out there. Can you think of any that you've seen?
No, just in the fact that I remember that 2019 World Cup game one, Stokes, he took that catch over his head and it was incredible, like when you see that on the field. But when you train with him every day, he takes that sort of catch in training. So I think just shows the standard that he keeps himself to, is that he will take that sort of standard of catch fortnightly. But it's just because it was on the world's biggest stage, it becomes such a great catch. It was an unbelievable catch, but he just does things so regularly, like that reverse hand sort of catch that makes it sort of outrageously special, really.
Question from Tim. I really like this one. If you were the Ryder Cup captain and you could only pick England cricketers, who would you send out on Sunday and who would you send out last?
Gosh.
You might need a bit of time to think about that. So
yeah,
I can go because I've prepped it. I've done this not...
What do you mean you've prepped it?
I just saw that question coming. And but so I've done this not on their actual like golfing ability, but as if like they were cricketer golfers, if that makes sense. So my Ryder Cup captain is Mike Brearley.
Okay.
So
reasons why?
Just because I've read that he's the best captain ever.
Okay.
And, you know, got the best out of both of them, and he's going to be able to manage all these big egos that I've got in this lineup. So anyone you mention here you think's got a big ego? No, he can manage a few of them who've got big egos. Okay. You're in there. So he's sending out Cook and Strauss after each 1 and 2. Cook and Strauss, I think, great opening partnership. So we'll calm the nerves, get out early. 2 solid players, you know, no frills. Will take the energy out of the. I'm going to write these down on here just so I get a real visual of what's coming my way here. And then I'm going to go the complete opposite. And my third pick is Johnny Bairstow, who's going to start really revving up the crowd and revving up the opposition. And he'll, you know, his eyes will go and he'll be so in the zone that he never loses from that kind of position. Yeah, I know we're meant to be talking about who'd go out last, but I'll get there. Then I'm going for a bit of flair with Botham and Flintoff following each other. You know, the Bairstow's got them angry, and now Botham and Flintoff are really going to start showing everything off, and the crowd will be going absolutely wild. You know, middle of that Ryder Cup Sunday, you need to calm it down a little bit. So where are we at now? This is number 6 now. Okay. So I'm sliding Owen Morgan out there, number 6. Just no emotion, deadpan, the Iceman. Won't even look at his partner that he's playing against. We'll just get the job done. Got a wild slice in him, but... Yeah, well, we're not doing his actual golf. We're just doing the... and then, you know, to bring it in the final 6, I'm going to completely swap it from Morgs and go KP, number 7. Then I've got number 8, Jacob Bethel. You know, there's always that wild card pick, isn't there, in the Ryder Cup? The young, he's Ludwig Aberg and Oberg, however you say it, in this one. And then... Quite a pressurised little... Yeah, but he's sort of in the mix of Morgan, KP, then Bethel's just sort of that. No one really keeping an eye on it, but if he has an absolute gun session, he's like wins 5 and 4, and it's Flair, and he's the youngster who's
really have thought about this, haven't you?
It's a long train journey. And so then we've got Jimmy, number 9, Root, number 10.
Jimmy, number 9, because he wore number 9 shirt. Is that your...
No, but that works. Root at number 10. No one like the pressure's now. The pressure's coming on. He's cool and actually his golf game. He's got brilliant short game.
Yeah,
and I think of those.
If he's got to chip it over a bunker to get
those Ryder Cup moments where it's like McIlroy, that unbelievable chip on 16 or 17.
McGinley at the Belfry.
Yeah, that's Joe Root. And then, to your credit, you are there at number 11. Broad and Stokes, 2 guys that, when the big moments come, built you up here. I'm hoping that the rest of them have still got you in the match at this point. You're not just playing those pointless 2 matches at the end that, the Ryder Cup's already gone. But when the big moments come, the pressure comes on 17, 18, Broad and Stokes to see us home. So that's quite a comprehensive answer.
It's fairly comprehensive, yeah. You did put some thought.
What about you? Who are you sending out last?
How can I follow that?
You got to send out someone last.
You definitely. I mean, the whole theory on Root, pressure game, being able to just be really skillful, and Stokes, clutch. You think World Cup final 2019, the way he batted, Headingley 19. T20 World Cup final 22, nipping around everywhere the way he saw that home. All those moments are just him, so made for that Ryder Cup Sunday. So I completely agree. I can't think.
If you were Ryder Cup captain, would you... See, I was thinking about this because I've
do you
done
front
that.
load it?
Yeah, do you just go... Because I'm like, what if we've left Stokes till last and he doesn't even get... His point doesn't matter.
Yeah, good question. And the Americans, don't they tend to front load it a little
I feel
bit?
like that's what I'd go for. Just get all the big guns out early.
I love the drama at the end. You got to back all the players at the first half to hold it together, so that brings the drama and the energy at the back end. So
while I was prepping and taking you through my Ryder Cup 12 and who goes out last, you've had a couple of sips on the wine. What do you make of it?
Beautiful, yeah. It's part of my range beyond the wicket, and it's. I tried to incorporate countries that I'd been to and had great memories from. So New Zealand was one of them, synonymous with Sauvignon Blanc, and you'd normally think Marlborough, but this is from Nelson, a neighbouring area. I wanted part of my wine collection. I wanted it to be places that were slightly different, a bit of intrigue. I had in my mind my mum with this wine. She always drinks Sauvignon Blanc, but will always just order the safe one. I wanted to branch her mind out and think, okay, I've not heard of Nelson, maybe I want to try it. And I'm really proud of this wine, connecting with my cricketing memories of New Zealand, one of my favourite countries in the world. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. New Zealand, yeah, a country we both love to. I know you've for cricket and wine, and actually I still think I've played the best cricket shot I've ever played in my life there. It wasn't necessarily in a big game, it was a T20 England versus New Zealand A sort of warm-up game. Neil Wagner was bowling round the wicket and had everyone up on the offside, and I sort of backed away, and he was trying to attempt a Yorker. I knew that was what he was going to bowl, and I'd sort of thought, if I open the face of my bat in my grip, like pre-setup, before he bowls the ball, and I just sort of play this normal kind of shot that will slice over the offside. He's just missed his Yorker. I've backed away, and as I've hit it, the face is so open, and I've flipped my wrists, and somehow it sailed over cover for 6. And that was one of those moments where it's happened. I'm like, I can't believe that's happened. That is exactly how I saw it happening. And I still think it's the favourite shot I've ever played, just as a pure cricket shot, not necessarily the game or the situation, but as a cricket shot. So yeah, very fond memories of New Zealand. This Sauvignon Blanc, Jose, from New Zealand, from Nelson, it's part of our For the Love of Cricket case, which you'll be able to buy from laithwaites.co.uk next week. We'll post a link in our stories. We're going to do 3 whites and 3 reds. The whites for white ball cricket that you're going to choose, and the reds for red ball cricket, test match cricket, which I will choose. So you have chosen this wine. Yeah, Sauvignon Blanc, New Zealand. I think you've mentioned what a great place it is to go and play cricket. All the wines will be from places that we have played. Get in quick before it's all gone, because it's going to be Laithwaites' most popular wine case. Is that a direct quote? Absolutely. I saw it.
big billboard,
big reveal.
Yeah.
Not sold one of them yet.
Piccadilly
but it's going to be
Circus, saw it.
Biggest ever.
You've done wine cases before. This is new for me. This is for the love of cricket wine case. It's going to be branded up. It's going to be so popular, matching how popular this pod is.
You'll love it. You'll get people going to you, friends. Oh, can I try some of your wine? Well, yeah, you can buy it. They send them the link, but they'll expect freebies. You'll have a bit of pressure on that, but it's
get a discount code.
It's a nice pressure to have.
For the love of cricket, 10%. It's classic.
You just made that up as well.
Yeah,
we're giving 10% off to everyone now.
Laithwaites are, not me.
Just as a disclaimer, no one is promising 10% unless Jos is going to chip in for that off everyone.
Nope. Right, we have got a great question from Kate, which all our cricket followers will want to know. Broady, what are your top 3 Saturday songs?
Can I give you one?
Yeah, I think it's the one I like.
Well, Higher was the number one, wasn't it? Higher with Flow Rider was the number one. But I like that Sit Down With Your Ego is a nice one. But What About Us is my favourite. That's the one that, a barbecue or a bit of a party comes on. And I feel like with the Saturdays, and I'm like very proud of Molly for all of that, but I feel like when songs come, you go, oh, this is a good one. And then another one comes, oh yeah, I remember this one. This is quite a good one. Well, I say better than quite a good one to her. But yeah, they've had some good bangers. So I think...
Is that the one that starts with Shona Ball?
Yeah, Shona Ball, yeah. Shona Ball's on it.
Or Chandapur.
Shivering Chandapur, yeah.
Yeah, so that is for the love of cricket's favourite one, Chandapur.
But for people who don't know that, it actually genuinely is. Did you hear that?
That's genuine. He says Chandapur, not Shona Ball.
It's because Yuvraj Singh was one of the West Indies' greatest ever batters. And is it just because it sort of rhymed with Shona Ball?
Well, you telling me this is... Well, we need to ask Molly. Does she know that it's actually Chandapur?
There's no way Molly will know who Yuvraj Singh is. She'll know who Sean Paul is. I feel like we're getting really confused with the Sean Paul, Yuvraj Singh thing. But I think Sean Paul's come out and said, he says Chandapur because he heard a crowd chanting Chandapur at the cricket. And he said that really links nicely to my songs.
Not that he just loves Chandapur.
That he loves Chandapur.
Right, okay. Does she ever catch you singing a few Saturday songs around the house?
Do you know what? We had a nice on YouTube. I showed Annabella because Annabella's now 2.5 and just loves dancing around. And I put on a Saturday song, and she was just like, "Mummy, mummy, mummy," which was really sweet. But we don't play them on a regular occurrence, if I'm honest.
Does the phrase "sit down with your ego" ever get used around the house?
No, I don't think it does.
She doesn't say that to you a lot. Certainly not
with the Saturday's sort of song title involved in it. But no, I don't have an ego, do I?
Just a little one. Question from Rob. Can Stuart tell us about getting hit for 6 sixes in an over by Yuvraj? We get that all the time.
Cheers, Rob. Great question. I think that's probably a whole podcast, really, isn't it? It's quite a big, long story. It's quite hard to explain in 1 or 2 moments, but we'll definitely come back to that at some stage because what's your favourite saying? A deep dive. We need a bit of a deep dive into that one and what on earth happened there in Durban with the balls disappearing.
We'll get Yuvraj in as well. Get his input in it. I'm just promising a lot of, I do promise a lot on this pod. 10%. I've had 2 sips of wine and we got 10% off in Yuvraj Singh.
You're in a real promising mood, aren't you, at the moment?
Anything for the likes.
Yeah, just another disclaimer, Yuvraj Singh hasn't guaranteed he's coming on this podcast to explain why he managed to middle every single ball off me for an over, but we can wish.
Disclaimer, but we will send him a case of For the Love of Cricket by Laithwaites wine, and he will probably join us.
Why does that feel like you're reading it, but you're not reading it?
Right, next question is from George. How many England WhatsApp groups are there? Is there one for the Test team, One Day team, and the T20 team? Is there one for logistics or one for actual cricket chat? Broady, as a bowler, do you have your own WhatsApp group? Give George all the insight on WhatsApp.
Well, you're probably more likely to know this. It moves so quickly, doesn't it? But yeah, there's definitely a logistics one that the team manager will tell you about time the bus leaves, where the flight is, what time the team chat is, etc. There's certainly one just for the Test team. There must be one for the One Day, probably One Day and T20 the same. or they split?
Yeah, he tends to just, I think, change the name of the group as it kick the odd one out, and that's when you know you've been booted and you're out the group for a little bit, when it changes from one day as to T20s or whatever, or if you've been in a squad. You know when the team manager's getting really annoyed with sort of when people flood that group with just general chit chat of like who wants a coffee or who's going out for dinner, when they turn off that you can't reply to it, can you? You're sort of like, because their logistics gets lost in the riffraff of like what time leave for golf or where we're eating, so they actually turn off that you can't reply on that group. So
I love the passive aggressive. You know, if they put the leave time and the bus time, everything, and then someone goes, "What time leave in the morning?" and it's just like a quote of the previous time.
I've
it's
already
mentioned.
told you.
But yeah, the bowlers, I don't think we do have a separate group. Generally, the bowling chats, they're in person. So it'll be on that big admin group. Bowlers meet at 5 o'clock in the team room and you'll just go and talk. It's very rare are you on WhatsApp going, how does Steve Smith get out again? You know, it's very much in person, watch a bit of video.
So when you retired from playing for England, did you get that? Did you feel like, oh, I'm going to leave the group? Or did you get booted question. Out? Or did you just, is that when your retirement hit you when, you know, there was another squad announced and you just weren't added to a WhatsApp group?
So 2 days, so I retired on the Monday night, and then on the Wednesday I had to be at Lord's for some commentary that I'd put in, you know, months and months and months previous. And I went with my England players accreditation to Lord's, scanned it, and I just got this red cross, went, not allowed in.
Wow.
So already
instant,
like cut, bang, he's gone. So my accreditation didn't work straight away. So I had to wait at the gate while people from Sky sort of came running out with a new accreditation. Actually, I might check the WhatsApp groups now. I type in sort of test. I don't know if I'm still on it.
There, still ghost in there.
Test team.
I'm sure someone would.
Okay, test team news. Ashes. So I don't actually. Do you know what this is?
Message it.
This has never been.
Get into. See how you doing, lads.
This has never been closed.
Ashes coming up. I'm back.
30th of August 2023. It's no great exclusive. Oh yeah, Stokesy sort of finished the group with just a well done, lads. I can't read the rest of that. I'll tell you privately. So Dan's asked, are cricket players selfish? I play village cricket. I get 2 days off work and I choose to spend one of those standing in a field watching other people bat. Does that make me a bad person? No, I think it makes you an excellent person. Village cricket, they're the best days of your life. Test cricket, international cricket's best days. Look back to your club cricket days. How good were they? You know, I used to put the flags around the boundary, unlock the scoreboard. If you got out early, you were at square leg for 10 overs. They were great days, weren't they?
Yeah, great days. And just, I think everyone can always relate to those. Like you say, the boundary markers, you know, what is it, right for runs? And the other way, playing that like bowls game against the flags. Certain people make a great tee. I think tees were always the highlight of club cricket for me, knowing, you know, someone's mum was on the tees this next week and it's an absolute spread. Really?
They've stopped since COVID. You have to bring your own like meal deal.
That's an absolute
I think
killer.
We should what about starting a campaign to get cricket tees back?
Bring back cricket tees.
Dan finished his question. Does this make me a bad person if he chooses to stand in the field watching other people bat? That makes you a great teammate, doesn't it? You're selfish if you get out, bugger off home, not seen again. But I think if you're watching, supporting your teammate, saying, do you want anything ready in the change room after? Do you want you take sandwich bringing to you? So no, it makes him not selfish at all. Actually, makes you a great teammate, Dan. I've got another question actually. Anthony Clapham messaged me saying, how does it work with the pros? In club cricket, you're trying each other's bats. Do the pros swap bats with each other? Is it, you know, if you take 10 on tour, do you have people looking around your bats and going, oh yeah, I fancy a bit of that? Yeah,
you do actually. You get loads of people wanting to. There's certain characters in a dressing room, so there'll be guys who want to look at everyone's kit. Marcus Trescothick is the coach now, and he's still the biggest bat nuffy ever. Anyone gets a new bat, he's in there looking at it. What about this? How's the pickup? I never had one like that. The shape of this, the grains are like this, the profile, etc., etc. And there'll always be someone who's sort of like in the dressing room is perceived to have the best bats. And I actually never like to do this. I did it once. I started looking at someone else's bat and it just completely sweeted me out. I was out there batting and my bats are great and I was scoring runs, but then I looked at someone, are these good bats, or should my bat be like this, should my bat be like that? So I make it a point to sort of never really pick up other people's bats and look at other bats. I've got mine, I'm not going to swap them with anyone, I'm very happy with my bats. But other cricketers love the tinkering and they love sort of, the stickers and changing stickers sometimes. And also it's quite a mental thing around the IPL. There's quite a big thing about and the players actually tend to like gifting bats. They feel good for gifting you a bat, and if someone used it then and went out and scored runs with it, they're like, I feel good for that because it's the bat I gave you. And there's certain players obviously that out there, they absolutely dream of getting Virat Kohli's bat or Rohit Sharma's bat, Surya's bat, and it's still a bat, just a piece of wood, but it's comes with this aura, doesn't it, that it's so and so's bat. And I think we all believe that there's sort of like a secret store for the best players, where the very best wood is kept. There's a bat maker that they only roll out for 5 or 6 players in the world, and if you can get one of those bats, then you'll have no dramas scoring runs.
Question from Nagesh. I've been following the podcast on Instagram, and Jos, you seem to have a love for AB De Villiers. What makes him so good?
Yeah, absolutely love AB. Huge hero of mine. Just the style of player he was, with the bat, with the gloves in the field. I really like that. And I just think for me, and this is only my opinion, and I know there'll be loads of other opinions telling me I'm wrong, but I believe AB De Villiers is the most complete batsman to have ever played the game. I think you could throw him into a test match and ask him to save the game and score 10 runs off 200 balls, and I think he's got the game, the defence, the mindset to be able to do that. And you could throw him into a T20 and say, we're chasing 15 and over for the last 6 overs and you need to walk in and win that game, and I think he can do it. I feel like any sort of situation or scenario or shot, he's got it.
Didn't you have a moment where you sat down with him, with Lou, your wife?
Yeah, that's sort of a bit of a killer as well, wasn't it? So AB's been this hero of mine, and I sort of, he's really, again, generous with his time, and got to know him a little bit playing against him. And we were in Mumbai, playing for Mumbai Indians at the time. We were playing against RCB at the Wankhede Stadium, and both teams are staying in the same hotel, and lots of players will sort of congregate in the bar after the match and just have a drink. It's one of the great things about cricket, isn't it, that you share a drink with the opposition and chat about the game or whatever. And at the ground, AB had said to me, let's have a beer in the bar. And sort of, I'm completely starstruck, like, this is my hero. Got the chance to go and meet him. So I lose out watching the IPL. So I get back, I'm like, quick, shower up, get changed. We're going straight to the bar. We're going to meet AB De Villiers. He wants to have a beer. I'm like, so it's just act cool. Like, I know I'm nervous, but just, pretend.
Play it cool.
Play it cool. Absolutely. Don't fall through the bar. And so we got in there. He's, what do you want to drink? Having a beer, and it's really nice. I'm not really saying much because I'm just a bit nervous, and it just goes quiet. And Lou just goes, so what part of New Zealand are you from? And I've just heard this, and I go, oh my God. How do I rescue that? It's one of South Africa's most famous ever sports people. And my wife's just asked him, what part of New Zealand he's from. So I don't really know how we rescued that. And probably, I just went to bed thinking he'll never speak to me ever again. But I've really given a lot of AB love there, haven't I? I think he's a brilliant player. Must be one of the best you've bowled against.
Definitely, yeah. You're right, that situational thing for him, he could sweep you in a one-day game out of the ground, but also he could save a game and shut up shop. Technically gifted, but a magical sports person all around, I think. I don't know the exact stats of his swimming and tennis when he was a kid, but he was amazing. I played paddle against him, the same commentary team, SA20, and I'm a beginner. I was thinking it gave me an insight into his competitive spirit as well, because I'm a beginner just trying to get it back, and he's really good, plays 3 or 4 times a week. And every time I'd sort of just get it back over the net, almost like a film, like charge, bah, like smash it, point over. It's like, oh, okay, right. And he just absolutely dominated this game of paddle, like athletic, like the way he moved, the skill and precision he could put the ball. I know we're talking cricket here, but it just showed that now he's retired from cricket, this passion of paddle has taken over, just natural ability, just straight away, just incredible at it. No one could compete to his level at all. So yeah, you get these people, and you're one of them, that are just so naturally gifted at loads of different sports. I think he has to be the top of the tree of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree with that. Question from Ali. Again, this one will divide opinion, but let's get Broady's answer. Sachin Tendulkar or Jack Kallis?
Oof. I think you have to go, in your team, for balance, you have to go Kallis for 300 test wickets. I think he got average 58 with the bat, caught everything at slip. He's probably, in my opinion, the greatest all-round cricketer of all time. But then you talk about winning trophy. I mean, Sachin winning the 2011 ODI World Cup in India, in Mumbai, for someone that carried a nation, I suppose, one of the most famous people in India. The pressure he played under compared to Kallis, and I've already named Kallis as answering this question, but now the more I talk, I think, gosh, what Sachin dealt with and coped with and kept the standard. 200 test matches at number 4.
I've gone back one, yeah.
I've gone back in myself.
I'm going to say Kallis, just because I saw Ricky Ponting say, hands down, Kallis is the best cricketer to have ever played the game. I saw that in a recent interview somewhere, and I think maybe because he's sort of that understated and we haven't really seen much of him since he's retired, maybe. But when you put together, isn't his numbers the equivalent of, in average, like Tendulkar with the bat and Zaire Khan with the ball in one cricketer? So it's pretty hard to, if you're having to pick a team, and pretty hard to look past that.
Yeah, I agree. Question from Manisha. Do you remember the first time you met MS Dhoni?
I don't actually remember maybe the exact first time that I ever met him, but the first time I ever got to sort of interact with him and speak with him, it's quite surreal, isn't it, when you meet these people? You sort of imagine it sort of being like in Madame Tussauds. They look real, but they're not real. But I'm like, that's the actual MS Dhoni, and he's again really generous with his time. And I wanted to say, how did you get so good at keeping wicket, and why is your style as it is? In England, we're taught to sort of stay down with the ball, but when I watch you, you're sort of up. And he said to me, it's sort of a product of his environment. When he first came into the team, he was keeping wicket to Anil Kumble, really fast leg spinner, a lot of top spin on the ball. And he said, when I was staying down, the ball just kept hitting me on the shoulders. And I just thought, if all the balls are going to be up there, I may as well sort of be in that position and be ready for it. And he sort of said, I'm in this position to catch the ball, and I'm closer to the stump. So I said, also, like, well, what practice can I do? How can I do? And he just said to me, which is great advice in one way, he said, keeping should be fun. Keeping should be something you do that's just really fun. You're involved in the game, especially up to the stumps. With spinners are bowling, they're going to beat the bat. You can get catches, you can get edges. As long as you can pick, which way someone's spinning it, just see it as an absolute time to show off and have fun and relax, and then, worry about your batting and stuff like that. And that's obviously coming from a guy who at that stage has kept in international cricket for 15 years. But he said, no, I don't really practice. And it's one of those things when you watch an IPL game, you see Dhoni come, and it's like one of those myths that go around the tournament, like he doesn't practice his keeping, and then there's the highlight reel stumpings and all that stuff. And and that's true to his word. He said, no, I just have fun when I'm keeping wicket. And I remember from that point trying to take that more into my keeping, because I used to sometimes, as a wicket keeper, you're a bit nervous to not make a mistake. Everyone sort of looks at you like you've got gloves on, it should be easy to catch it, and a good wicket keeper should go unnoticed. And if you only sort of get talked about when you make a mistake. But it was a complete flip in my mindset of have fun, show off, like catch the ball and try and get close to the stumps and be quick with your stumpings, etc. So that was a really nice interaction I had with him. Yeah,
such a wonderful MS Dhoni story. He's a legend for a reason. Loads of people talk so greatly about him. But unfortunately, that is it for the end of our first Q&A episode in partnership with Laithwaites. Got loads of great questions. I didn't think we'd be talking so much about your Ryder Cup team. Question from Tim, that's a brilliant one. But I really enjoyed that, Jose. Thanks for sharing that. We'll do one of these every month.
And when is the case on sale?
For the Love of Cricket case will be available to buy at laithwaites.co.uk from the 1st of July.
So pour yourself a glass,
settle in, join us for the love of cricket with a good bottle of wine from Laithwaites.